like 2 minutes of bad publicity when the film hit, to come out and try to blame it all on him. None of it was just due to the fact that she seems like a rather person. Then he managed to convince Blake Lively to star in it with him, and all hell broke loose. She claims he's her, and then by the time they premiered the movie, they weren't even speaking to each other. She made him stay in the basement.
So normal people at home who don't care about this woman at all are looking at her like, I don't like her.
A Hollywood legal battle heads to a New York City courtroom today with the hearing on the lawsuit between actors Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. The U.S. District Judge in the case is holding a video conference on a motion for a protective order.
Y'all, we need to talk because things are looking real bad for Blake Lively right now. Like, could she actually end up in jail after this latest Megyn Kelly bombshell? Because it looks like Kelly might be the one to finally seal Blake's fate. Now, if you've been keeping up, you know Blake has been tangled up in all kinds of legal drama. The lawsuits, the accusations, the back and forth, it's been a hot mess. And every time we think things are cooling down, something new comes up. But this could be the final nail in the coffin. So, let's break it all down. Blake Lively made major waves when she accused her It Ends With Us co-star and director Justin Baldoni of harassment. But from the jump, people were giving her the side eye. Like, was she telling the truth, or was there something more going on? Then came the twist. Justin Baldoni hit back with a countersuit, claiming Blake lied and even manipulated the situation to take over the movie. Now, this is where things get really shady. So despite Blake Lively's serious accusations against Justin Baldoni, a Hollywood intimacy coordinator is out here saying, wait a minute, weren't y'all kind of close before all this drama? Mia Schachter, who has worked on Lessons in Chemistry, Insecure, and Perry Mason, recently gave her take on the feud in the Channel 5 documentary She Said, Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni. And what she had to say? Very interesting. According to Schachter, after reading their text messages, it seemed like there was real affection between them at one point, like a friendship, if not more. And that's not all. Schachter also pointed out something that might raise eyebrows. In my experience, when an actor says, I don't need to meet the intimacy coordinator until we're shooting, as much as it hinders my process, it does typically indicate that they trust their scene partner. So basically, Blake seemed comfortable with Justin, at least in the beginning. Now, if this is true, why would someone who felt unsafe around their co-star refuse to meet with an intimacy coordinator ahead of time? Because y'all know Hollywood productions take on-set safety super seriously, especially when it comes to intimate scenes. And if Blake really had an issue with Justin, why not bring in the intimacy coordinator early? Enter Megyn Kelly, who did not hold back when talking about Blake's messy situation. On her Sirius XM show, Kelly basically dragged Blake for filth. She called her a serial fraudster and straight up said she was a person who ruined her own brand. And honestly, a lot of people are starting to agree. According to Kelly, every claim Blake has made has been shut down with hard evidence. Text messages, receipts, everything. She even said Baldoni's proof makes Blake's allegations look completely different than how she originally painted them. So now the question is, did Blake Lively completely play herself?
Blake Lively is very dissatisfied with virtually everything around her and decides to allege that Justin Baldoni, forgive me, very effeminate, evolved, modern feminist, man bun kind of guy, is like this virulent who can't stop one of the biggest stars in Hollywood in front of everybody on the set. I've got questions. I'm not sure why he would do that, whether he'd have the guts to do that, or whether the man bun is the most likely in general.
Now, let's talk about this so-called secret plan Blake Lively had. Because if this is true, Blake basically admitted at a Forbes Power Women Summit, no less, that she has a secret plan to take over any movie she's cast in. She straight up said that she pretends to just be an actress at first, but once she gets the gig, she starts making demands. Like, imagine hiring someone for one job and then they start running the show out of nowhere. That's wild. Some directors were okay with it. Others, not so much. And apparently, Justin Baldoni was one of the ones who wasn't feeling it at all. Megyn Kelly was not here for Blake's little revelation. On her podcast, she basically said, that's called fraud. And honestly, she might have a point. If Blake was getting hired as an actress but secretly planned to take over the entire production, that's not ambition, that's deception.
So she's a serial fraudster. That's called fraud. When you pretend you want to do the one thing and you'll do the thing they're hiring you for, but all along you have secret plans to do something very, very different that's above your pay grade.
Kelly also pointed out that Baldoni wasn't a huge name, so he didn't have the power to push back against Blake's takeover. Meanwhile, she allegedly bullied him into letting her make her own version of the movie. Yup, 2 versions of It Ends With Us exist. And guess what? Baldoni's version actually tested better with audiences, but Blake's version is the one that got released. How? Allegedly through threats. According to Baldoni's lawsuit, Blake threatened to pull a Taylor Swift song from the trailer because she apparently had that power, and also boycott the press tour, which would have tanked the film's promo. Like, what?
She started to rewrite scenes that nobody had asked her to rewrite.
What? That's just wild to me.
Now, this is where things go from messy to downright delusional, because instead of taking accountability, Blake allegedly tried to blame Baldoni for her PR nightmare. According to Megyn Kelly, Blake actually had the nerve to act like her 2 minutes of bad publicity were all Baldoni's fault. Kelly was not buying it, saying, none of it was just due to the fact that she seems like a rather ishy person. Y'all, the shade. Let's be real, Blake didn't exactly help herself here. Instead of keeping the focus on It Ends With Us, she was out here plugging her hair products, her non-alcoholic drink brand, and basically everything except the actual movie. And let's not forget that cringy, out-of-touch comment. Grab your girls, wear your florals. Like, sis, this is a movie about DV. It's not a girl's trip to brunch. The backlash was instant. People called her tone deaf and accused her of turning a serious issue into a fashion statement.
She was full of giggles and laughter and wanted to promote her liquor brand. Like, nothing says domestic like a bottle of tequila. What?
But instead of taking the L and keeping it pushing, Blake and Ryan Reynolds allegedly tried to make Baldoni clean up the mess. According to reports, Blake and Ryan actually drafted a public apology and wanted Baldoni and his production company, Wayfarer Studios, to release it as if they were the ones responsible for Blake's PR disaster. And of course, Baldoni's team was like, absolutely not. Make it make sense? How is this his problem? Now, people don't usually agree with Megyn Kelly on much, but she might be onto something here. On her podcast, Kelly went all in, even comparing Blake Lively to Amber Heard. And y'all know that's not a comparison you want right now. Kelly said, she does appear like an Amber Heard to me. And let's not forget, Amber Heard's defamation trial in 2022 was one of the biggest celebrity downfalls ever. She lost millions after the court ruled she had defamed Johnny Depp. So, for Kelly to even put Blake in that same conversation, yikes. And let's not forget, Justin Baldoni isn't just suing for damages. He's coming for everything. He's asking for $400 million in damages. He's accusing Blake, Ryan Reynolds, and their teams of spreading false, edited information to ruin his reputation. He's even suing the New York Times for libel, claiming they cherry-picked text messages to make Blake's case look stronger. And now, Baldoni has taken matters into his own hands. He's launched a website where he's posting allegedly unedited text messages so the public can see the full story. And from what we've seen so far, the receipts are not looking good for Blake. The messages Baldoni has leaked have poked massive holes in Blake's harassment claims, and her own words about her secret plan to take over movies are making it even harder for people to believe she was a victim in all of this. So at this point, the question isn't just is Blake Lively lying, it's how bad is this about to get for her? Because if Baldoni wins this lawsuit, Blake and Ryan could be out of millions, and her reputation might never recover, and if any of these claims cross into criminal territory, well, that's when things get real. And according to legal docs, Reynolds filed a motion to dismiss, arguing that Baldoni's lawsuit doesn't actually prove he defamed him. Instead, Reynolds' lawyers claim that Baldoni's list of grievances is just an attempt to shame him for being the real-life version of the man Baldoni has built his brand pretending to be. So basically, Ryan is saying Baldoni is just jealous. But Blake wasn't about to let Ryan fight this battle alone, because she filed her own motion to dismiss. Lively called Baldoni's $400 million lawsuit a vengeful and rambling mess, accusing him of abusing the legal system just to get revenge. She even demanded the court throw out all claims against her with prejudice, meaning Baldoni wouldn't be able to refile them. Oh, and she also wants him to pay up for the reputational and emotional harm she's allegedly suffered. But here's the thing, none of it worked, because despite all their legal maneuvering, the judge denied both of their motions to dismiss, meaning this lawsuit is not going away. And now, Blake and Ryan are officially locked in a legal battle that could cost them millions. And let's be real, if they really had nothing to hide, wouldn't they be eager to go to trial and clear their names? Instead, they tried to shut this down before the evidence could even be heard. Blake Lively knows she messed up. Because when you're bringing in former CIA officials to do damage control, that's not just a PR problem, that's a full-blown crisis. According to reports, she's hired Nick Shapiro, a former CIA deputy chief of staff and senior advisor to ex-director John Brennan, to help her navigate this legal mess with Justin Baldoni.
First and foremost, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have hired former CIA agents with a proven track record of lying to the public, gaslighting the public, to help her with PR.
Now let's break this down real quick. Shapiro is not your average PR rep. This man isn't some Hollywood fixer who smooths out bad headlines. He's a serious player with government ties, national security experience, and crisis management expertise at the highest levels. Like, why is a counterterrorism expert handling Blake Lively's PR? Unless she knows that whatever's coming next could be way bigger than just a defamation lawsuit. And let's not forget, Shapiro also worked as Obama's national security spokesperson. So not only does he have serious connections, but he knows exactly how to craft narratives, control media perception, and if necessary, make problems disappear. And Page 6 just confirmed that Blake's legal team, Wilkie Farr and Gallagher, brought him in specifically to handle legal communications for her ex and retaliation lawsuit in the Southern District of New York. So yeah, this is no longer just about public image. This is about protecting Blake at all costs. If Blake Lively was truly innocent, would she need a literal ex-CIA agent to control the fallout? Because hiring Nick Shapiro isn't just a PR move, it's a power move. This tells us that Blake and her team know they're in deep trouble. The lawsuit might have damning evidence that could wreck her reputation, or worse. She's not just fighting this in court, she's fighting it in the court of public opinion too. And if we've learned anything from high-profile Hollywood scandals, it's that when celebrities go into full crisis mode like this, they're usually trying to get ahead of something huge. Now, here's something nobody saw coming. Right-wing influencers have turned this Hollywood feud into a whole movement. And at the forefront, Candace Owens. She wasn't even known for covering celebrity legal drama, but somehow, she's become one of Justin Baldoni's loudest defenders online. Since January, Owens has dedicated at least 19 episodes of her online show to the Lively versus Baldoni lawsuit, which is wild because she usually sticks to political topics. And guess what? It's working.
It is Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni Day. Finally. I've been teasing that all week, and let me just say to all of the women out there that are watching, no matter what you do in life, you never, ever go full Amber Heard.
Her YouTube videos and TikToks on the topic have racked up over 130 million views. Yes, million. People who didn't even know who she was before are suddenly tuning in just for this drama. She even went as far as to predict that this case will be bigger than Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard, which, is a huge statement.
And we have to compartmentalize. Blake Lively is not a good person. So no matter what happens in this lawsuit, no matter who wins in the end, do not let it distract you from the fact that she has proven herself not to be a kind person, okay?
And Candace isn't the only one pushing this case into the spotlight. Other right-wing media personalities are jumping in too, including Brett Cooper, another conservative media darling. At this point, Baldoni's team knows exactly what they're doing. His lawyer, Brian Friedman, even acknowledged how podcasters, YouTubers, and TikTokers have helped his case stay in the headlines. You've seen social media, and these TikTokers and people on YouTube, they're amazing, he said. And he's right, because the pro-Baldoni narrative is spreading like wildfire. Now let's be real, celebrities rarely see a jail cell, even when things should land them behind bars. But if Megyn Kelly is right and Blake really did manipulate things this badly, she could be looking at some serious legal consequences. Fraud, defamation, contract violations, this could get ugly. Right now, the court cases are still unfolding. But if Baldoni's countersuit holds weight, Blake could be in way deeper trouble than she thought. And if any of this turns criminal, it might not just be her brand that's ruined, it might be her freedom. This whole situation is messy, messy, messy. Blake Lively's reputation is hanging by a thread, and Megyn Kelly just made sure everyone knows it. So, what do y'all think? Is Blake Lively finished? Did she do all this to herself? Or is Megyn Kelly just stirring the pot? Sound off in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more developing stories.